He couldn't do a line of code.
But all you want to know about bedpans, all you want to know about cybersecurity, all you want to, for those of you that want to go into those areas, all you want to know about artificial intelligence. You don't even have to spell artificial, just it's AI, that's it.
You are a cunt. You are a cunt. Nobody likes you 'cause you are a cunt.
You're no different a coward than you were 4 days ago. So that should be your thing on your cell phone. What do you call it?
Ringtone.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That's your ringtone. And when you're in a meeting, you'll never forget to turn your phone off again in a meeting, ever. You'll never forget again. I guarantee it. I mean, but people are so used to. You saw an alpha male last night, Steve. But people are so used to being mealy-mouthed now that it's become the norm. And i.e., they call it political correctness. And one of you, I told, in addition, part and parcel of, in my judgment, the worst part of political correctness is called tacit approval. Tacit approval. Tacit approval is we're at a meeting and everybody has a presentation, and you know that most of what you're listening to during the presentation is horseshit. Hey, we already know that, that's bullshit, let's move on. When was the last time you saw anybody do that? Never. I used to do it since, I got in a lot of trouble since I'm in grade school. I mean, I was always flapping my mouth. And I had ADHD, but they just said that I was goofy. They didn't know what ADHD was 70 years ago or 65 years ago. But tacit approval is, so now we're in a meeting and I'm talking bullshit, and you know I'm talking bullshit, but then I leave, and then you all listening, and he nods his head. Not because he agrees, he nods his head. Then I leave, and so then the story that you pass on to him is how you hear it, and because we all hear different things, right? At a scene of an accident, 25 people got 25 different opinions of what the hell happened. But now you go on to another meeting, and because I didn't correct one of these two guys, you go on to another meeting and say, the old man agreed with it because I didn't disagree with it. And what we've learned, unfortunately, in life and in business is not agreeing isn't agreeing. Not agreeing is tacit approval. You're just keeping your fucking mouth shut because you don't want to be confrontational. And it goes from worse to worse to worse. And by the time it gets down to the poor janitor or whoever's at the bottom of the food chain, he doesn't really know what the company's mission is or vision or whatever. But whereas when you heard a guy like Steve Ballmer last night, former CEO of Microsoft, there's no tacit approval in him. And there's no tacit approval in any of the icons that you've seen in the night movies. In fact, they're the opposite of tacit approval. They often stick their nose into stuff that they had turned over to other people to manage, to produce, to get to the market, and yet they come in and Jobs was famous for this, although Jobs, Steve, rightfully so, had visionary blessings that most normal people don't. But we're putting together a montage of photographs, and I was just looking at them. They haven't been hung yet, so I was just looking at them, and I picked these two out because not necessarily because they're my favorites, but that is me in the hood as a little boy. Okay, I think I'm about 5, and that's my grandmother's house, that old ramshackle house I'm standing in front of. I'm standing on the steps. This is a quantum leap. That's the first $20 million I pulled out and put in my pocket in 1985. $20 million, not a big deal, really. Yeah, but nobody believes that I was here. They all think I was born in the fucking castle. And it's certainly not too late for any of you in this room, even the oldest one in the room, which isn't that old. I still think he's young because I'm almost 10 years older than he is. But everything's relative. We talk about age, and I'm sure his perspective about age and some of the bullshit he's hearing from you kids, he just think, fucking, what are these kids living in a dream world? I mean, they don't have a fucking clue, which is true. And with age, you get perspective. What are some of the comments about Steve?
Great speaker. Alpha male.
No question about that, alpha male.
Energetic, positive, enthusiastic.
He's a salesman.
You need a trick
Yeah.
to make it successful.
Yeah.
If you
And he didn't know fuck all about what they were doing.
Yeah.
couldn't do a line of coach.
But all you want to know about bedpans, all you want to know about cybersecurity, all you want to, for those of you that want to go into those areas, all you want to know about artificial intelligence. You don't even have to spell artificial, just it's AI, that's it. Yeah, forget about it. What else about Mr. Ballmer? Yes, sir.
You said optimism is key for success.
Well, I would say optimism and enthusiasm. In fact, you don't just enthusiasm. You can roll over a million speed bumps just being enthusiastic. I may be wrong, but I'm never in doubt. Yeah, I still don't like firing people. I'm very good at it now because I've done it so many times. But when it gets easy for you to fire, you ought to retire. It should never be easy because you're disrupting lives, mortgages, kids can't go to school, all that shit. But if you think about all that shit, you'll never make a decision. There's going to be collateral damage. But the collateral damage isn't life and death. As I told you, Fred Smith said many years ago, when I discovered that my mistakes weren't sending boys home in body bags from Vietnam. I never had a hard decision. But there's never an easy time to make a tough decision. Never. It's not going to get any easier, a month from now, a week from now. It's not the employees that you fire that kill your business. It's the employees you don't fire that kill your business. And I was just reading through I've got about 12 or 14 kids that are right at the goal line now. They're trying to, they're all lining up and they're trying to punch it through. And if you can't punch it through, we got 3 or 4 downs in American football. If you can't punch it down the first 3 fucking times, then they want to punt or they want to kick a field goal. You're on the 1-inch line, assholes. No fucking field goal in this game. You're either going to punch it through or you're not going to score. But the board's telling them it's better that we get a little pussy than no pussy. That's what every single board that was ever will tell you that. Well, let's negotiate.
One trick pony, Mr. Pena?
Yeah. Well, these guys have no trick pony. These the 12 or 13 use, this is their first trick. But the boards are telling them because they've been stalled at the goal line, 1 foot line, whatever. And but now the boards don't want to go away with nothing. So they're telling the kids, let's negotiate. We can do this. We can do. At least we'll get a little bit of gold. We're not going to get what we want. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, you take it wrongfully. You spent 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years, and you're down and you got nothing. And you got 1 more down to punch it in. Oh, fuck. Well, they've stopped us 3 fucking times. Fuck. What are we going to do different the 4th time to get it through? And the board is all, the board wanted to negotiate when you got down there. Forget trying to punch it into the goal line 3 times. And then you got what is called a conundrum. A conundrum is a fucking dilemma. What are you going to do? Take the chance of walking away with fuck all nothing? Knowing that the board will probably leave you then. Pardon? No, don't call me. I don't want to hear you. I'm not interested. I'm telling you that now. Don't fucking call me. You're going to live and die on your board. That's it. And some of you that are more experienced in the room have been led to believe that you can probably choose talent better than maybe the kids. But I'd rather be lucky than smart. I'd rather have the luck of a kid because if you were so fucking smart, you wouldn't be here. So how good have your decisions been? Down there and, you're getting ready, assuming you're the quarterback, and you're looking at all these fucking guys, just like that guy I told you about, Harry Wells, that All-American black fullback, weighed 265 pounds, that ran over me. Fuck. What am I going to do? Am I going to call an audible? What am I going to do? And shit's running down your leg because you've shit yourself. And the other side can smell. They don't smell the fear. They smell the shit rolling down your leg. And they all got teeth like fucking vampires. Fuck. You call timeout, timeout, timeout. Go back to the huddle. We got to negotiate with these fuckers. And that's what happens, guys. God, and it breaks my fucking heart. Most of the guys aren't going to score. Get the deal done the way they want it done. And your board will convince you, based on your fear, that discretion is a better part of valor, better to, be able to fight another day, which is wrong. Steve wouldn't do that. What else about Steve?
Must have a big vision and a big idea, and that also helps with recruiting talent.
Correct. The people that do the recruitment normally in big companies are human resource people, which are all wusses. Now, why would you want a human resource wuss vagina recruiting your talent for the future? I don't understand. What you want is, somebody that has come up the ladder and been successful and telling them how the vision was then when he or she joined the organization and how the vision has even been expanded since they've joined the organization. What else about Mr. Ballmer? Yes, sir.
Success is not a destination. Once you get there, you have to keep going.
Correct. And I said, I think the first day, whoever said it's hard to get to the top, but it's even harder to stay on top. But whoever said that, I don't know who said it, but it's fucking right. And I think he commented that he was nervous because, well, he knew this was going to be on YouTube forever. And that's the problem. And he didn't say one bad word in his face. We're going to see some stuff that he's done while he was CEO of Microsoft. Like Elon Musk, his favorite word is fuck. And his favorite 2 words are fuck you. They say, Elon, and Elon, if you hear this and I'm wrong, correct me. Every 4th word is fuck from Elon Musk. When he's being kinder, gentler, every 5th or 6th word is fuck instead. Yet most in this room wouldn't say shit if it was in your mouth. Just go, oh, it's a poo in my mouth. Okay, what else about Steve? Yes, sir.
You need to find something that can consume you and you can give all your heart, spirit, soul, and dedicate yourself 100%.
Passionate. But I mean, as far as I can tell from the history books, that, I mean, Steve Ballmer's been passionate about everything all his life. That's the way he is. He's a big, aggressive, enthusiastic, passionate man. And he exudes enthusiasm. He exudes passion. And the people that reported to him were of like mind, or they didn't stay there.
He's also very tough-minded. He's not like enthusiastically pleasing. He's tough-minded.
No, I mean, all these guys are tough. The alpha males sound tougher only because they're alpha males that got big mouths.
All in.
Yeah, they're all in. But the betas that we've studied so far are still tough, but they're not, boisterous. In some of the icons that we've studied so far are they're all confrontational, but some are confrontational because they'll have you go be confrontational because they don't want to be confrontational because they're introverts. Remember I said Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mr. Buffett are introverts. Hard to believe. Just like you, little wussy introvert. But they're animals vis-a-vis their passion. I mean, even a mouse will fight back in the corner. What else about it? Yes, ma'am.
The best advice he ever got from his dad was, when you do a job, do a job. When you don't do a job, don't do a job.
I can only imagine what advice your dads gave you.
Do it with pride is what she means, right?
Yeah.
No, do it 100%.
Oh, I'm 100%. You're all in, as you said earlier. And you'll be able to tell when you do your first report. You're going to be able to tell about 15 or 20 questions into the report. You're going to know if you were all in that week. And hardly anybody is all in week 1. But you know who's in week 1 all in? The kids. The 15, 16, 19-year-olds. They're fucking all in. They're going, they're going for the stratosphere. They're swinging away. I mean, they're trying to put every fucking pitch, like Babe Ruth did, pointing at center field. I believe it was in Wrigley Field. What else?
He spoke a lot about measuring. So
what gets measured gets accomplished. I told you that, when I go in and I'm involved in sales and marketing with an organization, I want to know how many sales we made. I get in at 8 o'clock in the morning. How many sales have we made today? 8 o'clock in the morning. Not last week's fucking last week. I mean today, since midnight. And I told you want your employees, you want to get rid of employees, just have them follow a similar format that I'm going to give you. They'll just pick up their shit and put it in the bag and they'll be out the fucking door. And the ones that will leave will be the ones that you don't think will leave. Because they've bullshitted you and you thinking they were productive all these years. And they're not, and they know they're not. But they've been riding that wave. Very few employees can get up, paddle out, and catch another wave. They caught you. Big fucking hippo that you are. They caught you. And they've been riding on your wake. The wake, the fucking water that you spew off. They've been riding your wake. What else about Steve?
Optimism.
Yes, pardon?
Optimism. Smart people like to be negative.
What?
Yeah. Other smart people like to poke holes in your deal. But don't confuse me with the facts. Is my favorite for me. I'm not interested. Then we're doing it this way. I don't give a fuck, about your PhD from MIT. I don't give a fuck. We're doing it this way.
You said that you have to love what you do.
Now, this is a recurring theme, right? Success leaves clues. And all these guys that you'll ever study, not the guys you've been studying, but all these guys that are icons of on the planet that really changed the world are 95% the same. 95% the same. In the cosmos of time, Even Bill Gates, Einstein, Tesla, Henry Ford aren't a fart in the wind. In the cosmos of time, of the 13.8 billion years we've been here. So if those guys that I just mentioned aren't a fart in the wind, what are the role models that you were raised by? What are they? Obviously less than a fart in the wind. And that's why I say, with no qualifications or reservations, not everybody deserves to be born. Not everybody deserves to be alive. If we just put the benchmark, you had to add value to the planet, we'd have about 50,000 people instead of 7.6 billion that added value. And added value is creating wealth is adding value because you're creating jobs. You're allowing people to, to do more than they would have done on their own. Anything else about
If you fail forward.
Well, I mean, yeah, these are all like Woody Hayes tackled the guy from Vanderbilt, and he knew when he threw his clipboard down and he took his headset off, and he knew his career was over. But there are some things worth fucking being fired over. There's some things that are worth dying over. That was the end of one of the most successful athletic coaching careers in the history of the planet. He took the headset off. Fuck this! I can't allow that cocksucker from Vanderbilt to score. Nobody ever gave him a fucking job again. He died broke. Yep.
What brought you here won't bring you there?
Correct. That's absolutely correct. And that's a valid point for another reason. What brought you into this room, unless you pull the trigger, won't get you there, Hall of Fame. So you muscled up, or what courage you had, and you dusted yourself off, and you saved your pennies or whatever, how to get here. But this is just the first step. Just as almost everybody that you've heard so far says, getting the board's the easy part. Getting here is the easy part. Then getting the board is the second easiest part. And if you don't use the steps and you don't pull the trigger, you should have saved your money. But I also say, for many people, including the YouTubers, better that you find out at 26 or 46, this ain't for you.